And there's no wrong answer, but I just want to understand the mindset of like how you went from literally active military, and you weren't like maybe right in Iraq, but you're on base or whatever, and your contract was up, or you were done. Yep. And you're like, I'm gonna go be Brad Pitt. Like how did that? What was the mindset there? God, it's so hot, dude.
It's the fucking worst.
It's so hot.
They know it's December, right? I mean, September. Like, let's fucking tone it down a little bit.
Yeah, I know. So, Nick Williams Show, episode 13. Lucky number 13.
Nice.
With the incredibly talented and amazing friend and incredibly hardworking and ex-Army veteran and newish owner of a nice
less than a year.
Little dog here. Yep. Little dog, Hampton. Jon Demers.
Hello.
Thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me.
Buddy, I love having you here. Are you kidding me? We gotta talk about this dog. You literally just got here.
Yep.
So just, I like to set this up, and so I had on the week before you, because I'm stacking these up. So they're all filmed relatively in succession. But the week before your episode goes up, Colin Munson was on.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
And he was like, I'm here. And I think he expected me to go out and like get him and bring him in. But every time I go out,
you guys have valet service here?
Well, no. But like every time I go out when someone's here, I end up talking to them for 20 minutes and then coming in and we sit down and I'm like recording, and then people go like, so what are we talking? I'm like, we just talked.
Now what?
Exactly. So you literally walked in, you gave the dog some water, hopped on the couch,
That's
we're
right.
like good to go.
All business.
Because of that, though, I have a million questions. Yeah. One being, how is it with the new dog?
Honestly, she's great.
Is she?
Yeah.
Are you doing podcast, John, or are you being real, John?
I'm just being myself.
No, I know, but like, if she like shits everywhere, you got to say it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. She won't. Okay. She's not gonna shit.
Okay.
Worst thing she'll do is she'll rip ass right next to me, and it's gonna be bad.
I see. How old is she?
She will be 3 this month.
Okay.
Actually.
And how old was she when you got her?
2.
Okay, so you had her.
So I got her in November of last year.
Right. Okay, I remember this text message. This is the first time I've met the dog.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, my other dog, Scout. Fucking, to put it lightly, a psychopath.
A little bit.
Yeah. Night and day. She's actually terrified of him, which is kind of sad. But she's got me there to protect her.
How does it work out in the house between the? Because so
they just stay apart.
Yeah, but Hampton's a service dog.
Yeah.
So she's super specialized, trained, like specifically docile, like.
Yeah, but it's kind of crazy. It's like she knows when to turn it off. Like when she's home, like we get into the driveway, she's like shaking her butt. I'm excited. I'm off work.
Right.
Like. I get to chill out, so I take off the vest, give her the command release, and then she's just a dog.
Right. Okay. Okay, that's cool. So, nice. Do you want to talk about it at all? The serviceness? I mean, the whole thing?
The serviceness?
Well, it's different. It's different than a regular dog, and it's different than, like, I trained my dog how to shake hands or sit.
No.
You know what I mean?
Like, yeah, no. I was super, super lucky with the organization I got her from. Canine Companions, if anyone's asking.
For vets, right?
It's not only for vets. So they have different programs. So they have a program for vets. Then they have a program for other people with disabilities. They have a facility dog program, which is like the dogs that go to the hospitals and, make people laugh and all that shit. And the VA process to get a service dog is a pain in the dick, just like every other, anything with the VA is a pain in the dick. But they have someone there walking you through the whole thing. They're with you every step of the way. You go there. It's a 2-week training because these dogs, for the past 6 months, they've been doing nothing but training.
Right.
So they know over 40 commands before I even meet her.
So did you get like a piece of paper with a list on it, or like?
They have a whole book.
I bet.
Yeah, it was like a whole 2-week course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. This is weird. So my dad trains dogs too. So this is and I know this is a little off subject of what we normally talk about, but this is like very interesting to me. So my dad trains dogs, and he has different types of training that he does. He trains some like bomb detection, drug detection. He does regular household obedience, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But in some of the types of training that he does, he'll do commands in different languages and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I know.
I only know one language.
Right. Good old American. No. So
Yep.
Red, white, and American. So what I'm wondering though is it the same commands for all the dogs? And if you were to meet/hang out with another person who received a dog from the same time that Hampton was trained, are you gonna be commanding both dogs at once? Like, you know what I mean? Does that get weird? Probably not, but like
no, because they kind of know when you're talking to them, because the preparatory command is their name, right? So
okay, so it's like okay Google. Let's use okay Google so you don't mess with the dog. But if you were to say like okay Google, it turns on, or Alexa, and then it turns on.
Exactly.
Okay,
yep.
I see.
So before she knows to do anything, it's her name, and then she's like, oh shit, yeah, time to work, I'm really not sure because it's the ADA that governs all this crap. I'm not sure. I know there's a million different programs that train service dogs, and you can actually train your own service dog.
Yeah.
I don't know if all the commands are the same.
Right.
I'm sure there's different methods of how to do it.
There's different programs.
But I mean, this program, they're so picky about what dogs they let stay in the program.
They're picky about the people that get the dogs too, right?
They're picky about the people who get the dogs.
Right.
Yeah. So it's great.
Because
anything for me to take any type of think work out of stuff, that like I'm in. If I don't have to think about shit and you just tell me what to do.
Right. So what are the? I mean, do you have what are the benefits that you personally have seen? And I'm sure there's some drawbacks too, which I'd love to go into just for laughs. But what are the benefits that you've seen having Hampton around?
I guess it's just like a comfortability thing. You always have that companion with you.
Right. And Scout's how old?
Scout's 9.
Yeah, Scout's
he's
up
an
there.
old fuck.
And he's a crotchety bastard too.
He's not getting any better.
Yeah, no.
It's not getting any better. He's like an old man with gout, just always fucking upset.
He's like one of those Vietnam War vets.
Yeah, you don't know what I've seen.
Yeah, yes. He
acts like that too. Like any type of thunderstorm or fireworks show, he's upstairs in the bathroom. It's the only room in the house with no windows.
I see.
Shaking like a little bitch. But then he'll come down and try to boss her around. It's like, come on.
Come on, tough guy.
Who are you fooling?
Settle down.
He's fooling her because she's terrified of him.
Well, yeah, she's young. She's young and dumb for now.
Well, she's a genius.
I was gonna say. I was waiting for you to correct me on that.
She's a genius.
She's wicked smart, but that's cool. But what are the benefits of Hampton?
Like I said, the companionship is huge. What's another thing?
Are there? 40 commands is quite a bit.
It's a lot.
And you're not much of a. Well, you are. I don't know how to explain it. Like, you're not much of a talker. Like, when people think of me, they're like, oh, he's always talking. You know what I mean? When people think of you, when I think of you, you're always doing something. You know what I mean? So, like, it's, even though, she's a dog and she's right there next to you and everything, still, like, 40 commands. At some point, you must, every now and then, do you look at her and be like, fuck, do you, like, really understand me? Like, we're just speaking a language.
She does, man. She does, because there's some times where I'll say the wrong command.
Yeah, I bet.
And she's looking at me like,
are you sure?
I'm not in the spot for that.
Right.
We're not even in a situation where you would need that. You want to try again?
Right.
And then I try again with the same command I just said, and she's like, no. Just quit being dumb.
That's funny.
Yeah. So she guides me for sure.
That's cool.
Yeah, she's like, she can create space in public, things of that nature. They train them to do nightmare interruption.
Holy shit.
Anxiety interruption. Yeah. It's like you can teach them to recognize tics that you have.
So how much time did you have to, God, it's so hot, dude. I'm like boiling, I'm sorry. How much time did you spend nightmare interruption? Like, how do you know? I mean, how does she know? How do they know the anxiety? Like,
I don't know.
It's so weird, dude.
I think it's because I didn't really need that with her, so I didn't do the training.
Right.
That was kind of like a separate thing they did. So I don't know. I'm sure it's like the anxiety thing where, some people get anxious, they tap their foot or they tap their finger, whatever.
Right. But everybody's different is my point. So I guess the interesting thing, and I know you're not the trainer, you're the owner, so it's a little bit different. But how does Hampton know your tics or your how does she know your poker face?
Because we trained it. So there's a day where, the instructors, what happens usually before, like when you're getting anxious, and do you have any tics? Like, do you tap your foot? Do you tap your fingers, or you scratch your face or whatever? And then they slowly teach the dog to recognize that through, corrections, rewards, all that shit. And dude, she learned that in an astonishingly short time. It was like 10 minutes.
Right.
And she was like, I didn't even need to say anything. As soon as she saw what my take was, she came right up to me, put her head on my lap, just looked at me with those big old brown eyes.
And it helps, I'm sure. Just because it's a little bit of an interruption in whatever pattern you're going through, right?
Yeah, my love language is physical touch.
Right.
Yeah.
Great. But you know what I'm saying, though? It's just, I guess, from the human psychological standpoint, it's like you either get lost in a pattern of thought that will provoke anxiety, then make it more intense and stronger the longer you're in that pattern, in your own loop.
Yeah.
So even just the interruption of that is the soothing part. It's
exactly.
Like it
exactly.
breaks
Yeah.
it
kind of like snips the wire. You know
That's
what I mean?
incredible. Yeah. That's incredible. Wow, that's so cool, dude.
Yeah, she's
so crazy.
Dude, I wish I could put it into words how awesome she is, but she's been fucking
okay.
crazy.
Well, since you can't put into words how awesome she is, which is fine, and I totally understand that. Let's put into words the difficulties of having another 3-year-old around the house.
Okay, there isn't any.
Really? She doesn't do anything wrong?
No, not really. Every once in a while, she'll steal Scout's food because Scout isn't always a dog who'll eat it all and then leave an empty bowl.
He likes to pick later.
Sometimes he likes to pick. As soon as she hears him stop chewing, because it takes her 3 seconds to eat her bowl of food. As soon as he's done chewing, beeline to his bowl.
Really?
And whatever's left is hers now.
Okay.
Even if it's just crumbs, she'll lick them off. She doesn't give a shit.
Wow.
She's not ashamed.
Wow. And Scout doesn't mind, apparently?
No, he's done.
For now, yeah.
Yeah, it's so weird because he's such an asshole about so many things, but his food's not really one of them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Sounds like a vet.
Yeah.
Sounds like certain triggers, with everything else is pretty chill.
He's got some shit going on.
Yeah,
but yeah, funny. I mean, they need to get along a little better. It's been less than a year, so I'm a little optimistic.
But when she's released, it's not like she's not rowdy or anything. Like there's nothing crazy. No, pretty docile dog. That's cool, man. How's your kid?
High school.
Holy shit.
High school, dude. She's a freshman. Isn't that fucking wild?
That's insane. We got to hang out more, man.
I know.
We did sushi that last time or a couple times ago, whatever. That was so good.
That was good.
It's very, very
You guys got
good.
the big-ass boat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of sushi.
Yeah. But when we first met, though, your daughter was like 10 or something. Like she was like a baby. She was like really young.
What was that? That was
2020.
That was 2020, right? Yeah, she was 11. Yeah. Which is like it's not a huge difference in years, but that's a huge difference in that time of your life. Yeah, so she's going to high school and she was doing volleyball tryouts today, and I don't know what to think about. I had like a little mini breakdown the other day. I'm like, dude, what were you like in high school? Looking at myself in the mirror, I'm like,
yeah,
I remember what you were like in high school.
Yeah,
I don't want her to have to deal with me in high school. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like she's gonna want to start dating soon. It's like, how the fuck do I deal with that? I wasn't prepared for this.
Yeah, my dad was pretty. I mean, my parents were fine, but I feel my dad was really bad when he was in high school. Like he was not a good Samaritan, and I think that's why some parents are super overbearing with their kids. I know you're not one of these people, but some people can come down on their kids really hardcore with regard to like when kids got to be home and all this other stuff. And it's like, well, this is what we did when we were in high school. And it's like, well, I know, but times have changed.
Yes,
okay?
they have.
My grandmother sent my dad down to the convenience store when he was 6
to get some smokes
by himself. Sent him down the street to the convenience store to get cigarettes.
Yep.
Like, you can't do that anymore.
If for mom, don't worry about it. All right, I trust you, kid.
You can't do that with a 15-year-old now. No. You know what I mean? You can't, like, if you're in, like, the wrong neighborhood, you can't, like, send your kid down the street. You know, maybe 15's a little old, but you know what I'm saying? Well, you can't buy him anyway, but, like, you can't, you can't send a 6-year-old to go walking down the street by himself to, like,
No, it's way different.
1969, a little bit different.
Which is kind of wild. With all the technology we have now, you think we'd be a little better at catching shit like that?
Technology's weird, man, because I don't even know, like, why we have certain things and why we don't have other things. Like, I thought the Amazon package delivery with drones, I figured that would have taken over, like, hardcore. Like, you want to, like, you want, like, a 7-Eleven, like, a slushy big gulp thing or whatever. Hit a button on your phone. That thing comes flying through the window.
Oh, man, what a...
I mean, I figured that would have been...
I get the novelty, but what a shitty idea.
No, I know, right?
Just a bunch of fucking... fat Americans in their basements.
Well, we already are. What do you mean?
Well, yeah, but at least they have to go out to get the slushie now.
Right,
they can't just order it and bring it to them.
Right, that's true.
They can at least walk to the car. Or yell to mom and tell her to go get it. You know,
yeah.
They're at least exerting some effort.
That's true. I don't know. And then there's certain technologies where it's like, well, why do we need that? Like, why? Like Apple with the glasses they're coming out with, the big thing that goes over the head. Why do we need that? You know?
That's why my iPhone's so expensive, because you're doing fucking stupid shit like that
right.
with our money.
But like, what is the purpose of it?
For no reason, yeah. Everything that those glasses do, my iPhone does, and I don't look like an idiot with stupid glasses on.
Do you ever watch on YouTube? Do you watch a lot of YouTube or not really?
No.
Okay. Have you ever seen scrolling through TikTok or anything those videos of like the people like there's one group that I watched. This is a guy and his like dad and I think it's his brother or something, but I'm not sure. But they like build houses and cabins in the woods, like with primitive tools and stuff.
I've seen videos like that.
Not the guys in Taiwan that everybody sees.
No, yeah, no.
But like these guys like are in like Nova Scotia.
Yep.
And, okay.
Yeah, I've seen those.
So like the reason that I like those videos is because it's like so there's a little aspect of technology, right? Like you're watching it on TikTok or YouTube or something like that. They have nice cameras, they edit, it's nice. But the thing that they're filming them do is something that like probably 50+% of the kids today could not do if they were lost in the woods.
No, they couldn't even make like a simple lean-to.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
I bet a lot of people don't even know what a lean-to is.
Guaranteed a lot of people don't. But do you know what I mean, though? So it's like at some point, like you need technology, but at another, there's got to be a point at which the whole like trying to develop so much convenience, like Apple with the glass, like it's cool, I guess, but like, do we need it though?
No.
You know, like there's something more cool about being able to build the lean-to.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
It's a skill.
Yeah, but it forces you to like think. Okay, if you're like building a fort in the woods with like, and you're young, let's say you're a kid, and you're out with your cousins in the woods and you're building a fort, right? And you're like halfway there or whatever, and then you put the rock in the wrong spot and the whole thing falls and you all laugh and you're like, oh, let's do that all over again. Like, this sucks. Like, you're kidding me? Sure, I'd be pissed too.
Work.
Absolutely.
Yep.
But then you got to do it again. But there's like something about that like trial and error and like figuring it out and putting something together and then having something that you made that's yours that other people are like, oh, that's cool. You built a fort in the woods. I don't know. There's something cooler than Apple glasses to me about the lean-to. I don't know how to explain it. It's a weird comparison, but do you get what I mean?
Yeah. No, we're comparing Apple's glasses to a fort in the woods. I get it. It makes perfect sense.
It's so crazy. Anyway, so normally on the show, I like to talk to. I've had now. You're the third actor that I've had on. I had John Potvin on. I had Andrew Gilligan on. Now I have you on, Jon Demers.
Whoa.
So 2 Johns, and I've had 2 Andrews.
Nice.
Common names.
It's called consistency.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's easier for people to follow.
You know? Yeah.
I do everything for the viewers.
Call that continuity in the biz, I think, right?
Right. So, how'd you, do you want to talk about acting? Do you want to talk about your career? What do you want to talk? We can talk about whatever you want.
No, we talk about whatever you want.
Okay. Okay. All right. How did you, so after you were in the military until what year?
2020.
Okay. So, wow. Okay. I was like.
I got out pretty much. When did we film In the Weeds?
August of 2020. August, yeah.
So I got out less than 2 months before that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you still had like Afghanistan dirt on your elbows when you auditioned for that?
Yeah. It was more of like Iraqi crud, but yeah.
You know what I meant?
Yep.
Shit. All right. Okay. I can't even make jokes. I hate being wrong about that shit. Anyway, that's funny. So what kind of did you have? This is kind of interesting, because I don't think I've really ever dug deep into this. But like, what what kind of person is in Iraq and thinking I want to be an actor when I get back? Like, was that the process, or like how did you get it? And there's no wrong answer, but I just want to understand the mindset of like how you went from literally active military, and you weren't like maybe right in Iraq, but you're on base or whatever, and your contract was up or coming, you were done, and you're like, I'm gonna go be Brad Pitt. Like how did that? What was the mindset there?
There really wasn't a mindset.
Okay.
I think like a lot of probably 95% of the people in at least America, it was always something you wanted to try.
Sure.
So I had a major commitment in my life that had just dropped off.
Well, it had finished.
Being in the military, my military career was done. So it's a better time than ever, right?
Right, like you have, like it's a fresh start. So if you're gonna try something, try it.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, that's interesting. I really don't have a follow-up for that.
I remember first day of filming in the weeds. Very first day of me filming anything ever.
You poor fuck. Dude, we made you sit there for like 12 hours.
I was there for 12 hours, and I just remember I was like, this is the easiest thing I've ever fucking done in my life.
Did you have fun, though?
Why doesn't anyone do this?
Was that your first shoot ever?
First shoot ever.
Wow. You were good. That was good. It was perfect.
That was fun. That was a fun shoot. I like that. But I think as soon as I tried falling asleep, like I was like, maybe I should lay down, and that was at hour 11 and a half.
Yeah.
And then you're like, come on in. I was like,
I'm like, all right, where's John?
Yep.
That's funny. Yeah. Yeah, we had to that was one of the very first shoots that we did. That I did, I mean. So that was new for everybody. We had like 50 crew people.
It was a pretty large production
for no budget.
Yeah.
No budget. I mean, I didn't get paid. The camera guy didn't get paid. Nobody got paid.
Yep.
Nobody got paid. I had a small fee for Walter because of all of the equipment that he had.
He's the lighting guy, correct?
And that was it.
He was the shit.
And he was great.
Yeah.
And he was super helpful and knowledgeable and was willing to do pretty much anything, which was very nice.
Real team player, that guy.
Yeah. The whole cast and crew for that was super cool.
Yeah.
Super cool. In comparison to like now, I had no idea what I was doing.
Well, that's good because I don't think any of us did. But you held your own well. I would have never known.
I tried to hold the ship together. I just, I figured like this is the job that we got to do. So we just got to do it. And this is what we do.
That was my method. I was like, just go in there and whatever they tell you to do, just do it. And if they're not telling you to do something, ask them, what can I do? And then that was...
Yeah, I know.
That was it.
It's crazy. And I was like, okay, well, I guess this is what we got to shoot. And then I tried to put in place the right people that I thought I could do the job the right way with regard to crew people. Yeah. Casting is I don't know. Casting's not easy, but it was a little easier because I had an idea of the characters and like what I wanted them to be, and I was constantly asking Jack and Alex like, is this what you're going for? Is this what you're looking for? Whatever.
Yep.
And
well, it was height of the pandemic too. Everybody was so eager to do something.
Yeah.
No one else was doing anything.
Yeah, I know. No, you're not wrong. It was, I guess that's why. Because then after that, when everything kind of settled down, it became very difficult to find people.
Yeah.
To do stuff.
Well, because like the Boston area kind of blew up after the pandemic, as far as film projects goes.
Yeah, they extended that sunset clause or whatever, the tax write-off, and that was like right before that was initially supposed to expire.
Yeah.
Everything kind of died down, and then they just extended it indefinitely or whatever they did, and it just was like, okay, we're coming back then.
Yep.
Which was cool.
That makes sense.
Which was really cool. And then we've done like, so you've had like 1, 2, 3, like 3 or 4 roles with me, right?
I think it's 4. So I was in the weeds.
In 3 years. Like, this is a lot. I put you in everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I was
literally put you in. You're like the one consistent thing in all of my things. It's like there's always a cameo with Jon Demers, or there's like a significant role with Jon Demers, like Officer Cop. You know,
Officer Cop and Training Wheels. I'll call you. I'm looking at the 2 posters right now, so or jog my memory of what they were called.
Yep, Line of Duty.
Line of Duty, and yeah, that was it.
Yeah, that's what we've done. Yeah, so far. Yeah, man, it's been a slow year just with the strikes and everything, and trying to, just trying to keep everything together. The economy's shit right now, but that's why I started this, because I'm like, it's an excuse for like people to get together and
it's a great excuse
and talk. Because if we're gonna hang out and talk, which is what we do, why not just press record at the same time? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's kind of my.
I feel like I've
thought process.
Said some questionable shit that shouldn't be recorded,
and it wasn't,
which is good. Yeah. But that was earlier on in life, before podcasts. I've grown. Yes,
I hear you. We can say some questionable shit if you'd like.
That's probably going to happen eventually.
I figured as much.
Yep.
What was there anything? I don't know. So what have you been up to? Just working? And now you got the dog and you got a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
You working? You doing any acting?
No, not really. I blew out my knee skiing in March.
Shit.
Yeah, so I had surgery in May.
Who goes skiing in March? Is there even any snow?
Yeah, it was literally the last day of the year.
Oh, nice.
Second to last run.
So it was December. So I had to. I'm sorry.
This guy.
I'm sorry.
This guy. It took me a second to figure out how months work.
Know.
But yep. So I tore my ACL and meniscus. Had surgery in May.
Yeah.
Just kind of been recovering. So I haven't really been able to do anything. I was taking improv classes down in Boston.
I remember you telling me about that.
They were a blast.
Did you love them?
I would recommend them to anyone. If not, like, I know improv always gets a bad rap for being a low form of entertainment.
I think it's one of the most crucial communication skills you can have.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm actually being serious. I'm not just yes-anding you. I'm being serious.
But I think it's funny because, like, you see in comedies when they shit on improv, and it's like, I guarantee half your cast got their start doing improv. Maybe that's why they shit on it, a little self-deprecation.
Yeah, probably.
But
probably that's part of it.
Blast, met a lot of good people, but fucked up the knee, so had to stop. So they moved on.
Was it on Zoom or was it on like you were driving into Boston?
Yeah.
Wow. Were you doing it on a stage with people, or were you doing like in a little black box room?
It was Improv Asylum, so it's down at Faneuil Hall, actually, where the old American Eagle is.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they used to, I guess, be in some shitty triple-decker type of building, but now they're in there.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a nice spot.
Yeah. Where the people, I mean, there's definitely some weirdos, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Acting is full of weirdos.
Yeah.
Film is full of weirdos.
Yeah.
I like weirdos. But some weirdos are weirder than other weirdos.
Some weirdos try too hard to be weird, and it makes it worse.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
If you're not a weird guy, just don't be weird.
I was gonna say, I don't think that in comedies and stuff they necessarily shit on improv. They shit on shitty improv.
That's fair.
Because it's and I love when people think that it's like easy to do.
It's not.
It's not at all. Yeah. To just agree and add information and just keep going, or I don't know. It's a good improv is hilarious.
It's hilarious.
It's so good. It's very, very good. And it helps with I don't know, interviews, podcasts, sales, everything, like every aspect of your life.
Yeah.
Just being able to, all right, if I think about this as like it's an improv, and I kind of do that with I'm very dry, very sarcastic with a lot of comments, and I sneak things in, you know what I mean, wherever I can. But when I'm talking to somebody who I just met for the first time, I mean, I did it when I was early on in high school. I took some improv classes and everything, and it just kind of changed my whole like perspective on talking to people. Because when I was super young, I was definitely that like annoying, like with adults and people I didn't know. I always wanted to talk to adults, and they'd be like, "Get away from me!
Who is this kid?"
Yeah, like what are you doing? You're 6. Get out of here, you know. And I'm like, "Can I please just try the cigar, please?"
Come on,
right? And they're like, "No, leave," you know. And the improv classes were cool because it kind of opened up a way to understand that you can totally change a subject in improv as long as you agree with what they said, and then you add in some other information. And people normally are too afraid to like disagree.
Yep.
Like life is not Twitter, right? Like everybody is so aggressive on Twitter and they're always, wanting to fight, or like YouTube comments. People go crazy in YouTube comments. And like, oh, you suck. This is horrible. I put up one little clip of me talking with Andrew, and I casually mentioned something about Chipotle and Qdoba. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know if you saw it or not. And he said he liked Qdoba, and I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Cool, man.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And people like went crazy in the comments, like, Chipotle's ass.
Whoa.
How could you not like Qdoba? Like, they just go absolutely insane in the comments.
Qdoba's got the
like,
cult following, I guess.
I'm like, all right. But like in real life, when you're talking to people, the general populace, right?
Yeah.
They just want to be left alone. So they're not going to be that aggressive. So when you start talking to somebody and they tell you something and then you say something back and then switch the conversation, like take a hard left or something, a lot of people just go with it.
They'll just go with it, yeah.
Right, exactly.
It does teach you how to navigate a conversation and, like you said, to kind of direct it.
The way that you want it to go.
Like someone's talking to you about some stupid fucking subject that you don't care about. Oh, that's cool. And then, quick right turn.
100%.
They take that right turn.
And then you lose the whole thing of like staring at them and being like, this isn't cool. What do I say? Like, oh, yeah. Oh, that sounds real interesting, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you lose that part of it and you just create something new. And then they still feel engaged and you don't feel like an asshole, which is nice.
I sometimes feel like an asshole.
I do too. But I'm saying when you're improvising, if you feel it that way.
I went to a brewery.
Yes, and like go.
I went to a brewery a few weeks ago with a buddy of mine, and she was there with me. It was hot as balls out.
Like
today. And the guy at the front's like, all right, you want to be seated? I was like, that's why I'm here. Yeah, I want to be seated.
I want to stand. I'd like
He's
to
like,
stand.
all right, I'll get you a seat outside. And I was like, oh, no, we want to sit inside. 'Cause it sucks out here. He's like, I'll have to ask my manager because we don't allow dogs inside.
Did you not see the vest?
And I looked at him. I was like, oh, you 100% for sure do. And that was my exact words. And he's like, oh, okay. And he went to talk to her anyways and came back and sat us. And I go to my buddy. I was like, did I just sound like an asshole? He's like, oh, yeah. Yeah, you did.
I don't think so, though. That guy's a moron.
That was a dumb question, but you'd be surprised how often.
The dog's got a vest on, John.
We almost got kicked out of Wendy's. We went on a road trip, me and Olivia, to Tennessee a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And on our way down, we stopped at a Wendy's in New Jersey, and they almost tried to boot us out.
Because of the dog?
Yeah.
With the vest on?
Yep.
Does the vest ever come off the dog? In the house?
In-house, yeah. Not in public.
Right. That's insane to me.
It's crazy, but in their defense, there's a lot of people who will just buy a vest online.
Really?
And take their fucking psychopath dog out in public.
Is that real?
Yeah. Yep.
That's disgusting.
They take advantage of the situation because there's only so many questions that you can ask somebody. You can ask, is that a service dog?
Is it a HIPAA thing or no? Because it's
no,
part of medical,
just,
right? Like health, kind of?
It's medical. I don't know if HIPAA has anything to do with it. It's just ADA laws.
Right.
I think it's like a discrimination thing.
Okay. Fair.
So they can ask you if that's a service dog.
Yeah.
And if you bought a vest online, obviously you're going to say, yeah. You're not going to be like, oh, no, I just bought the vest online. I like
I think it looks cool.
Yeah, no. You're going to say, yeah, it's a service dog. And they can ask you what disabilities, or not what disability, is it for disabilities? And then you can say yes. But they can't ask you what your disability is or...
Right.
Like, they can't ask you to make it do fucking tricks or anything.
Well, of course not. Right, of course. Yeah, that's insane. That's like incredibly aggravating and frustrating that people would do that. Like, it's such a... Why are there always bad apples? It doesn't matter, like, what the situation is. Even in, like, filmmaking. Like, there's always, like, that one person who's, like... who's just like not trying to help, you know what I mean, or just not like they just are intentionally trying to.
It's like, do you go home every night and just scheme?
Yeah.
It's like, what can I do today?
Don't you hate schemers?
Yeah, like I like a good scheme. Don't get me wrong.
I like a good scheme.
I'm talking like a Scooby-Doo type of scheme. You know, how do we catch the ghost type of scheme?
And they always get caught.
A productive scheme,
right?
You know,
a scheme that gets us to the end.
Exactly. I'm not. Why are you putting your energy towards? Just trying to fuck over other people. What does that?
It makes zero sense, dude. It makes zero sense. I don't understand. And like you want to scam the system. I have a friend I'll tell you who off of the pod, but I have a friend who recently got EBT, food stamps benefits, and she's a little younger. And I said, "What? You have a job, you make plenty of money. Why'd you get EBT or whatever?" And she's like, "Well, I buy my friends Red Bull every morning, and I answered some questions, and they said that I qualified, so I took it." And I'm thinking, like, economy shit right now, and like, if you need help, like, I'm not judging anybody who's on EBT, but I know this person, and I'm like, why are you on EBT?
Right. Was one of the questions, do you buy Red Bulls for your friends every morning?
It was worse than that. She told them that she was homeless. And I said, "But you're not homeless." And she goes, "No, I don't own a home. I absolutely am."
So, and
that
I was
logic,
like, everybody who rents an apartment is homeless.
I was like, that's not what homeless means, you idiot. Get off of EBT. Like, what are you doing? And now, I mean, she's a wicked spokesperson for it. She's like, I tell everybody they should get on EBT. I'm like, that's not how this works.
This is the problem.
I'm like, this is the fucking problem. Like, that's not how this works. So
I'd make her get me a Red Bull every morning and bring it to me as payment for paying her EBT.
Right. Unless she lives in another state, but yeah.
Send it over.
Can we, like, talk about, we don't have to talk about politics necessarily, but can we talk about how bad this fucking economy is? I'm just saying, so like with gas prices and shit, right? I never really complain because they always fluctuate.
Yeah.
They're up again, right? And they're right around like $4 right now, I would say, on average. But when you go to like get, and I'm a fat guy, so like, just gonna say, like, when you go to get like a candy bar at the gas station,
what kind of candy bar?
I'm a Reese's or a Snickers.
All right, that's
if it's a bar, it's a Snickers.
It's respectable.
But my favorite is Reese's. When you go to get like a candy bar and that is like $3 or $4, and they used to be $2 for $1.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, like, they used to be $2 for $1 like a year ago.
And they're probably smaller than they used to be as well.
Yeah, or there's like, they've been doing that thing. This is such a fat guy thing to say, but it's true. They've been doing that thing for a while now. Not a fan, by the way, of in the king size Snickers they put two little Snickers in there. That's not a king. You're lying.
No,
you're lying to everyone.
I want to feel the girth in my hand.
I want an 8-inch Snickers.
Exactly, yeah.
That's what I want. When I go for king size, I don't feel like a king.
I want to deep throat the Snickers.
I want to feel like a fucking king.
Exactly.
And this ain't making me feel like a king. So I find that funny. But yeah, I mean, it just sucks right now. Are you seeing this like in your day-to-day life?
Gas has been high since fucking Nam, it feels like now. But yeah, groceries is terrible.
Like bad, right?
Really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went off my diet and ate like shit after I had my knee surgery, and I felt it. So the past few weeks, I've just been getting chicken and vegetables, and I'll make protein shakes, and that's really been like my diet. I'm still spending like $150, $175 at the grocery store. And like my cart's not even half full.
Yeah, you don't even know what you're getting.
Yeah.
It's just like eggs and milk.
Yeah.
And it's $150. It's insane. I don't know, man. Do you think since you're my chief foreign affairs correspondent, what do you think of do you think it's like Ukraine Russia related, or what do you think it's like? What the fuck with the economy? Like, what's the problem?
Well, I mean, we printed money for 2.5 years.
We didn't have a choice. We told everybody it can't work.
But that's what I'm saying.
Right.
It doesn't matter what the reason is.
Well, and then on top of that, you have the Ukraine-Russia bullshit and the oil and everything
that has
else.
to do with it as well, I'm sure. I'm nowhere near a political pundit.
No.
But yeah, when you have the money that you have in circulation and then you print more money, I mean, common sense tells you now that money, all of it, collectively, is worth less.
Right. Well, because there's, more supply, less demand.
Yeah.
Right. So what do we do? Like, what's the next step? Are we gonna all just be like living with no lights or anything? Like, how's
Dude, I don't know. It just we need people in office who are gonna make a difference. Who are
do you
gonna
think
actually?
but like, okay, seriously speaking though, because I know that people say that, right?
It's a start, and if that doesn't work, then I guess more drastic measures have to be taken.
Right.
But I don't see anybody in this country banding together for that type of
I know. Even now,
action.
it's just crazy. Like, it's crazy. It was bad in, like, 2020. Like, that was obviously a shitty time.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, it's been 3 years, you know? Like, can we not, like, just get over ourselves and, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's all love, man. Peace and love.
You would think.
Well, I mean, like, at some point, like, it's got to hit.
We're all in the same fucking boat.
But we keep getting all these, like, the benefits and all the everything, and so there's no incentive to necessarily band together yet, you know?
Yeah, well, that's what it is. They keep you just happy enough,
right,
to
fall in line.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that method is starting to fail. That's probably one of the better things about social media is you can actually see what's going on in the world. You don't have to turn on Fox or MSNBC or whatever.
Right,
you know?
right.
And it's probably, I guess, just as credible, if not more credible, than the news. You know, like. You're never going to know unless you do your own research.
Mm.
But do you trust the mainstream news to tell you the truth?
I don't have cable.
Without skewing it? Exactly. I don't watch it.
I don't watch any of that crap. I watch podcasts. I get my news on puberty on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, they tell me what... Did you hear about the lead singer of Smash Mouth?
Yeah, he died.
Dude, that
liver
sucks.
failure, right?
And they announced that he had liver failure and a few days to live. And then he died like the next day.
Well, they were off by like a couple days, so it's not that bad.
No, I'm not saying it's no attack on the intelligence of the doctors.
I thought that's where you were
no,
going at.
not at all. No, it was just like,
damn, you said a couple.
yeah.
You only had one, you son of a bitch.
But like the idea of that, I mean, that's an iconic. How old are you now? 33?
34.
34?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's iconic. Smash Mouth.
Yeah,
Hey, now you're an all-star.
Which is crazy.
Well,
Not the most talented group in the world.
No, they had 2 songs.
Huge though.
Huge for 2 songs.
You can thank Shrek for that one.
Mm-hmm.
For the second one.
Somebody once told me the world was gonna roll me. He wasn't the sharpest tool in the
he's
shed,
not.
though, I guess. That's crazy, man. That's insane. And then, did you see Barbie and Oppenheimer? I have to ask. I always ask everybody. You didn't see either of them?
Nope. I really wanted to see Oppenheimer in theaters.
It's still playing.
I'm sure I still can. I've just been busy, been away, doing stuff.
Where'd you go?
Tennessee.
How was that?
It was great.
Besides,
hot as fuck.
Hotter than here?
Yeah.
Oof.
We drove there. Me and Olivia, we drove there. That was shitty. I had to rent a car because my truck was in the shop. So, another expense. Awesome.
Always, yeah.
Yeah. But, no, it was great. She had a great time. We got to see a lot of cool stuff. And, I don't know. It's just always tough to come back. People always talk about, I'm so refreshed after vacation. How? Well, I always come back just wanting to stay on vacation.
Yeah, that's why I stopped doing what I was doing and started doing this. I mean, it's been great, and there's obviously some different struggles that you face when you fully commit to doing your hobby full time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But yeah, that was one of the biggest issues that I had was you'd be like, and my mom just went through this. She was talking to me on the phone the other day, and she has a job that's pretty much full time, and they were forcing her to take a vacation because it doesn't roll over. So it was like, okay, it's your turn. Like, you have to go on vacation now. And so she took vacation, and then she was like, oh, now I don't want to go back.
Exactly.
But every day, before that, she's like, okay, I got to work. I got to do this. Blah, blah, blah. She was talking to me and telling me, I got to do this. And all these orders and inventory and all this other crap that she does, right? And they were like, all right, well, we're coming up on that. You got to take it. Because it doesn't roll over. So you got to take it or we're going to be screwed on taxes or whatever the issue is for them to need them to take the vacation time,
Yeah.
So she was like, okay, I'll take the vacation. She took the vacation the last day. She's like, I don't want to go back to that fucking place tomorrow,
That'd be hilarious.
No, she didn't quit.
They make her take vacation. She's just like, I like it actually.
But it is a little bit of a struggle. But it's interesting though, the mindset, because it's while you're working, you don't have that mindset, you know what I mean? You're like, okay, I get up, I go to work, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, you have your routine.
Why is it, do you think, that we I think work is bullshit. It's so arbitrary, man. I feel like that's
a lot of it is. There's
a weird thing for me to say because
there's a good amount that is necessary for us to survive the way we
especially with what you do.
Want to do.
We won't name the company, but like you still work for the same company, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So like
utilities are important.
Utilities are very important.
Yeah.
Especially when your whole business runs on electricity.
Yeah.
Like it's super important.
Exactly. But there are a lot of jobs where you're just making someone else rich. Do you have a question? Okay.
Popcorn, Hampton. But yeah. No, so the I guess a little bit of making someone else rich. Does that bug you about it, or is it more about the whole like routine aspect of it? Like going back to the BS. You don't even go back to the BS though. You fucking whiner. You like work from home, don't you?
I work from home, but which it makes it easier to do because you can kind of work when you want to. You can kind of make your own schedule, sans meetings.
Yeah.
But at the same time, going back to waking up at 5:30, driving into the office, you build that routine back up.
Sure.
How do you build up a routine at home? It's harder.
Yeah, it's definitely more difficult.
I'm at work on my computer, and all right, well, now I want to go work on something in the garage. So I go work on something in the garage. Well, I could probably wash the dishes or, unload the dishwasher. I'll probably go do that. Next thing you know, it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You've done 1 hour meeting and maybe you worked on a PowerPoint slide, and you're like, oh, fuck.
I'm not good at working from home. I need the separate space. I have to, because it'll get me out of that routine for that reason.
Yeah.
I have to get up, go to work, go to the studio, like open up, turn lights on, turn the computer on, boot everything up. I got to like feel like I'm getting into the work mode thing. Otherwise, I'll just lay around and fucking in bed all day. I don't care.
Yeah. No, I love working from home because of the job I have. Super boring, not super into it.
Right.
But if I had a job that I really liked and really enjoyed going to, send me to the office all day.
Right.
Because that's the environment that you're going to thrive in and you're going to excel in. So why not go into the office or wherever you go?
That's a good point. Honestly, I don't think I could thrive if I was doing, like, if I was an editor, like an in-house editor at a different studio. I don't know if I would thrive. I'm too opinionated.
Yeah.
Now, like
especially after doing it on your own for so long.
Yeah. Like there's a way that I like to do things and a way that I like to get things done. And if it's wrong, it's on me. But if I see that it's wrong and I'm right,
I remember you and
tell stories,
a certain
please.
Director of photography on In the Weeds.
Who, Charles Norton?
One for safety.
Yeah.
One for safety.
Yeah.
And
he'll be on at some point. I gotta have Charlie on too.
Good. I remember I was waiting outside of a house, waiting for our cue to walk in for the scene, and you're out there just talking to us, or it was just me and you.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Hey man, you seem stressed. You okay? Like, you doing okay?" And he's like, "This fucking guy, just let me. If it's gonna be shitty, just let me make a fucking shitty movie, okay?"
Is that
like,
me?
Yeah,
That's what I said.
Yeah. If I'm fucking telling you to do something, just fucking do it. Who cares? If it's gonna be shitty, it's my fault.
Yeah. Well, Charlie's opinionated too. You know what the cool thing is? Charlie is he's so young and very talented.
Yeah, he's very talented.
But he wants to be in like. I can't place my finger on it with him, like what he wants to do, because there's no wrong answer here, and when he's on, I'll talk to him about it, definitely. But Charlie is one of those kids who likes to be behind the camera, but he also likes to direct and make those decisions as well.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of, I think, on In the Weeds specifically where we butted heads, because he was working with me as a director and then trying to be the DP.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, but this is what we got to see. You know what I mean? But he didn't do anything wrong. Plus, the kid was like 18 at the time. He was super young. He was like, totally fresh, totally new. He has a film that's out now that's doing really well. So good for him. I'm proud of him. It's his senior. He shot it on like last weekend. I think it's.
I heard about that.
Yeah. That's funny. Me saying that.
Yeah.
I say that all the time.
Next day, you guys were like crying on each other's shoulders.
Always. Well, yeah. There's always like
that's what it's all about, though, man.
Peaks and valleys and everything. And sometimes I feel like it's unfortunate, and it's not everybody's cup of tea. But I feel like with me specifically, it takes a little bit of like you got to almost get to a certain point to understand where I'm coming from, and then you get it, and you're like, oh, he's not yelling at me. He's like yelling like he's trying to convey his message to me.
Yep.
So it's a little bit different. I'm a nutbag. Like, it is what it is.
Well, it's stressful. We're a very tight schedule for filming too.
11 pages day one.
Yeah. Very tight schedule for filming.
Yeah.
And One for safety.
He was right, though. He was right. You know, he was right. I would like, you know, that's the whole one for safety thing came about because, just to clarify for people that have no idea what we're talking about, it is important when you do a take, even if it's perfect on the first take, you might want to just get one more for safety.
For safety.
At some point, I just wrote it on the back of the clapboard, one for safety. Because we're doing these takes and, you know, I'm like, all right, that's good. And we're trying to shoot like on day one, we're trying to shoot 11 pages. Normally you shoot like a page and a half, 2 pages, maybe. We shot 11 pages day one and we got it done. Like we did it. And it looks good, by the way. But then you have, and I'm looking at the whole gambit of everybody there. So I got 50 people there in a restaurant. I got the owner who's sitting outside of the restaurant in his car. Didn't move all day. The guy didn't use the bath. I mean, maybe he had a catheter. I don't know. But he didn't move all day. And then random people would go and sit in his car. Not from our crew, but like he'd have like his wife and then his daughter. And they would like meet with him like a drug dealer.
Taking shifts.
Like, yeah, they would just come sit with him in the car.
Go meet with Dad. He's bored.
Right. And we were there for like 13 hours. And we have all the windows blacked out because it's supposed to be nighttime. We're shooting all day. The restaurant was closed this day. We're shooting all day long, and I'm looking at people like you who, it's my fault because I gave you an 8 a.m. call time, and you would show up, and then because we were doing all these extra takes and everything, we didn't need you on set until like 6, 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And then by that time, the sun had gone down, so now I have Walter outside with the blasting light in to make it look like it's daytime. And I'm like, oh my God, like what is going on?
That seems a little backwards. We could have just used, you know, God's gift.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But Charlie is very good, and he's, you know what? I do like him because he talks a lot, and so you always know what Charlie's thinking, and so I always know what Charlie's thinking.
Which in a position like that is good. That's what.
Yeah, but some people might find it like
though.
You know, abrasive or you know whatever it is. But it's like silence is not good. It's only good while you're rolling. Like
well, that's what I'm saying.
On set. That's the only time you should be silent.
Yeah, tell me what you want. You know what I mean? Like I was saying before, just tell me how you want me to do it, and I'll do it. If you're acting in front of a camera and you get no type of feedback from the director or anything, it's like, well, did I do okay? Was it shit?
Yeah.
Is he mad at me? Like,
right. Well, so I do tend to fuck with actors on purpose, though, a little bit. So I've mentioned on previous episodes that I never yell at actors, and I don't. I don't yell at actors because I don't want to, like, mess with them. But if I want them to feel a certain way, I have no problem playing psychological mind games, you know? If I want them to feel pressure in the scene, I'll be like, and do it however you're going to do it, or whatever. And have them go into it being, like, under pressure and everything else. And then when it's perfect, I'll be like, that was brilliant! Yep. Like, you know?
But that's the thing. It's like a motivation tactic, and then when they do good, you
I love positive reinforcement.
You vocalize that as well, which is important.
Yeah, I say it all the time. You know,
we're all about instant gratification.
Yeah, a little bit, but sometimes you got to delay it a little bit to the right moment.
If I did good, you tell me right now.
You did good, John.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. It's all about instant gratification and trying to achieve that by any means. So if that means that, you know, if the director's mad at me and then I do it better this time, he'll be happy, which will give me the instant gratification.
Yep.
You know? Yeah.
Do you think it's tougher now to work with actors than it used to be?
How so?
I feel like because of social media, everybody feels like they're a TikTok star or a YouTube star. They get like, you know, a couple thousand followers and now they're hot shit.
Well,
do you feel like people who have come in with not really a ton of acting experience, but maybe have some, you know, experience with just making TikToks in their garage,
right?
Are they more difficult to work with?
Are you okay? So I have a question, and then I can answer.
Like a diva complex type of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But do you mean actors in general, or do you mean actors? I'm sorry, like working with actors in general, or me working with actors?
I guess working with actors in general.
I'm sure
from your experience as well.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there's directors out there who think that, you know, they're either going to get a better reception of their film by having somebody in their film that has more followers or whatever it is. So they toss somebody in there thinking it's going to be good. You know, with me, I'll fire you day one. I don't give a shit. And I don't care if it's the last, not you, but you know what I mean. Like,
Yep.
If you're an actor and it's the last day of shooting and we have to reshoot everything, but you're fucking everything up because you're sitting. No one, listen. My dad taught me this a long time ago. Nobody's better than me, but I'm not better than anybody else. At the end of the day, we're all human beings.
Yep.
And whether you're getting paid or you're just getting real footage out of it or whatever it is, we're all in the same boat on a film set. So like, I'm not telling you what to do to be an asshole. I'm telling you what to do to make a fucking movie.
Of course.
Right? Well, okay, but some people take offense to everything. And then the pretentious ones that have, let's say you got 10,000 followers on TikTok or Instagram or something.
You have a K next to your name. You got it.
Right. So if you're one of those people, then you like if you're one of those people and that's how you think about your career and be like, well, you don't know who I am, you don't know what I'm doing, I'm this and that and the other thing and all this other stuff. But that just doesn't work for me.
Yeah. No, you're in the wrong place.
At least on my set, it doesn't work for me. That's a great way to get booted real quick. And I would try and suss that out a little in the audition too. I'd be like, so.
Just like normal questions?
Yeah. Yeah. Or I'll throw like a curveball and be like, what if you had to get naked? Full frontal. I'm just kidding. But you know what I mean? Like you try and suss out these divas a little bit. Yeah. I don't think that there's a lot of divas out there. There's definitely more people who are not great at acting that put themselves out there than there were because they think that, maybe, you know what I mean? But I don't think there's a lot of divas. I think there's a lot of people who think they can do it, and you get a lot of crappy or, no experience auditions and stuff. But then again,
all the power to them, though.
Sometimes you find a no experience person, you're like, don't change anything. Please don't take class, don't do anything like that. You're the one. You're the perfect one. And it's few and far between. But also if they're malleable. I like to work with people that are just kind of like, I'll do whatever. Like I'll do whatever and I really don't care. And like Keith wrote that one that we were supposed to make up in Maine about the...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like I could totally see that being a thing,
Oh, yeah.
And, but initially when Keith and I talked about it, he wanted to cast, like, it's based on him and his friends.
He wanted to cast all his friends.
And so he wanted to cast him and his friends. And I'm like, yeah, but they're not actors, though. Like, they can be on set, and it would be cool to like have actors get to know these people, but like...
Right. Learn mannerisms and, how they talk or whatever. Yeah, just pick up little things.
Right. And he got it right away. I mean, he was totally on board with it once I explained it to him. But it's like, you think it's going to be one thing, and then we shot I'll Call You, and after I'll Call You, Keith was like, oh, shit, like, yeah, this is not at all like how I thought anything would go. Like, this is such a different experience, you know what I mean, than watching it at home. Like,
it's just so easy to watch it when you turn it on.
Right. It's almost like they put it all together, like, purposefully that way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. It's one thing to shoot the shit with your buddies and joke around, but as soon as that camera turns on and you're doing it and you got to memorize the lines and stuff, it's a totally different ballgame. Yeah.
It's fun, though.
It's a lot of fun,
Super fun. It's fun for everybody. It's fun for me to watch. It's fun. I'm sure it's fun for you to do.
It's a lot of fun, yeah. A lot of long days, but you don't mind.
Right.
For the most part.
Well, and you're around, for the most part, pretty decent people. And a cool, like, environment. Yeah. Like, you're, like, fucking making a movie.
Yeah, every now and again you get a sandwich or something.
Pretty cool. Exactly. Yeah. People are like, can I get you anything? Can I do anything?
Me?
A little foot rub, a little something, whatever.
A little tense back here. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. Then it's like, John, set.
I'll be there in 5.
Yep. Makeup, last looks. It's fun. You do you have any you can name one of mine if you want to, it's fine, or we can talk about anything you want. But any funny set stories that you remember? Besides me yelling at Charlie or yelling to you about Charlie?
Well, when we were same thing in the weeds, and we were shooting, it was kind of like the heart-to-heart scene between my character and the main character, he who shall not be named character.
I love how I just said I never yell at actors, and you're gonna expose me.
Well, it's funny because you said that if I do, it's to like invoke something in them, and I smiled when you said that.
Yeah.
Because I thought of this exactly.
Go.
And we're doing the scene, and even me, I was like, he's kind of a little stiff right now. He's a little stiff. It was a long day. I get it.
Yeah,
everyone's tired. He was a little stiff. And you look at him. hey, are you even fucking acting right now? And his response, I'll never forget it. Best response ever. I thought I was.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, right? It's supposed to be, it was a scene between two people that, the idea was like the kid who got bullied in high school sitting with the high school bully, and they're having this moment of like, friendship kindling, and it just wasn't coming off.
Well, it was kind of like the pivotal scene. This is where he kind of realizes, I should probably get my fucking shit together.
Yeah, like I'm acting like a douchebag.
Yeah.
And you were being nice. And I could give you directions like, you gotta, I don't know. I don't remember what I said to you. I'm sure you do. But I was like,
you told me to make him cry.
Yeah.
But like in a good way, not like hurt his feelings, make him cry, but like.
Yeah, make him feel bad.
Yeah.
For being a dick, for being, not him, but the character, like make him feel it. And you were really good. I mean, it's a great moment. And we just kept having a reset. And I think he was just tired. I don't know what it was.
I think that's exactly what it was. He was exhausted.
But it was a moment, that's for sure.
And he's like, can I just like hit my weed pen for a second?
Oh my God.
If you come in here, you can't fucking say your lines.
Well, yeah. Oh, I just need a second. Let me just go hit the weed pen or whatever. And I'm like, listen, like, I don't care. Do whatever you want to do. But like, if you come back in this fucking room and you're completely zoned out because you're high as a kite,
I'll tell you what. I've never been tired and thought, you know what'll wake me up? Some weed. What? That's not what that does.
Yeah. No, I don't think so either. Yeah, that was a crazy set. What else we got? What else? There was some good stuff with why did Chris Lovejoy start singing at the campfire on I'll Call You?
I don't know, man.
What was the problem? Were we waiting for batteries to charge or something?
We were waiting for it to get dark enough, I believe, because the scene was happening at night.
Ah, okay.
So we were waiting for it to get darker, I think. And so the fire was made, and everyone was just sitting around the fire. I was with Olivia, just hanging out. It was, the young kids and you, and then I was Officer Cop in the back, waiting for my cue. And he just runs to his car and runs back with his guitar. I think he was just really eager to show you another side of Chris Lovejoy.
Which was great.
Yeah.
It was great. He ended up moving. He moved to New York or New Jersey.
Oh, really?
Other side of New York. But like, same there, like right across the bridge.
To pursue music?
Music, acting.
Nice. Good for him.
Everything. I think his girlfriend got a job down there, or fiance,
nice.
or whatever she is
fiance,
now.
Huh?
I think so, yeah. You guys hit it off on, was it Training Wheels, or was it?
It was Training Wheels, yeah.
Yeah. You guys were like boyfriends.
Yeah, it was instant clicking. It's too bad I had to arrest him, but
he liked it.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
I tickled his taint a little bit.
On
Hey, he was cuffed up. He couldn't defend himself.
That's right. That does not make it consensual. It's good stuff.
It was in the script that cuffed him up. It wasn't just a.
Yeah, no. They were fake, except for the real ones.
They were real.
There were some real ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we had real ones for close-ups and fake ones for
the fake ones were a pain in the ass because I had to use them obviously when I was cuffing both of them up.
Yeah.
And it kept curving before it clicked in. I was like, fuck, so it wouldn't go in, so I just held it there.
Yeah.
And just walked away with them. I was like,
Jesus. It worked.
I'd be a terrible cop.
Ryan's so good, man. Ryan Curley, he's another one. He's
very good.
Yeah. Well, he's in New York at Pace. He just played I was just talking to him the other day. He said he just was on stage. He played Czechoslovakian gay teen in a play on stage. And I was like, good for you. That's crazy. Like,
what a description.
Yeah, literally though. Yeah. Yeah. Gay Czech teen. And I was like, okay.
Yeah,
he's like, yeah, I had to be naked on stage. I was like, oh my God. He goes, my grandmother enjoyed it. I go, what? I was like, what?
A lot bigger than I remember.
No, oh my God.
From when she changed him as a baby. Jeez,
right. Oh
perverts.
my God. Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the like you said, we definitely had a lot of good actors that we've worked with, but he's one of the few that like I expect to see him later on in life. you know?
Yeah, it is. This is what's really cool about this industry is because there's so like it not a revolving door in like a bad way, but like you meet so many new people and there's so many new faces on every set that like every now and then you bump into someone and you're like, oh shit, like I'm gonna see you on the TV someday.
Yeah,
or I'm gonna see you
like, cool.
at the movie theater someday. You know what I mean? I hope to. Dude, I've met so many talented people. I just pray that I'm gonna be like. Maybe I'll get to interview them on a red carpet or some shit someday.
Yeah, you get the proud uncle moment, you know?
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, proud uncle's cool. I don't mind. See, there's a part of me that wants to be on the red carpet, and that's a big part of me. There's a little tiny part of me that doesn't mind being the old bald guy at the bar looking up at the screen and seeing like a Jaden Moffat or a Ryan Curley on the screen and being like, I remember those days, you know?
Yeah.
Like there's part of me that's like, good for them. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I enjoy, unless it's someone I dislike, I enjoy watching.
Unless it's someone I dislike.
Yeah. Like the guy there's a guy that I was behind from North Andover all the way until I turned onto your street.
Oh, really?
And this
Same guy the whole time?
Same guy the whole time. He was going 5 to 10 miles an hour below the speed limit the whole time.
Love those guys.
To that guy, if you're listening, I hope you get fucking razor burn or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something slightly inconvenience.
Right.
You
something within the YouTube terms of service.
Yeah, maybe you get a sunburn or something. I don't know.
Right.
But he what was I just talking about? Other success. I'm a big fan of people that I know succeeding. I love to see that.
I really am too. I get genuinely happy when someone tells me that they have done something cool. I think there's a big difference between jealousy and envy. And it's a fine line, but a big difference.
You can envy someone but still be happy for what they've accomplished.
See, I feel like that's like jealousy. Envy is like I'm mad at you because you're successful. In my like when you're green with envy, when you like shit on someone because they're successful.
What if you're not green with it though? What if you're like blue?
You're blue with envy? Yeah. I mean that's more. Yeah. I mean that's not as bad. But green's the top.
Yeah, you don't want to
tier.
be green.
Nobody wants to be green with
green.
envy. But you know what I'm saying though?
Yep. Like
Like when you're envious of someone, you're like actively either shit talking them or trying to put them down based on their success. Like if someone watched Oppenheimer, right?
Yep.
It's made almost $1 billion, hasn't even hit China yet. It's objectively a good film. Nothing makes $1 billion and is a bad film. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. Now it may not be your style. You may not like the subject matter. You may be a one-off that doesn't want to see the movie. But like it's objectively a good movie because everyone likes it, and there are people that have seen it 2, 3, and 4 times. Okay. So to be angry at Christopher Nolan or to be like, how could you put out a shitty movie like Oppenheimer? Like, okay, boss. Well, what have you done? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? to rip on people. If your like whole psyche is revolving around looking at people that are more successful than you and you just rip them apart, that's like a level of jealousy that is envious and that is like really bad.
Yeah, they never look in the mirror, you know? It's like,
right.
What are you fucking doing with your life?
I said it when Colin Munson was on. Or no, I said it when Sam Luca was on. I said I'm jealous of Colin Munson's ability to be even keel in stressful situations. And like I said, he's going to be a really good dad. And I am jealous of that quality because I look up to it. Yeah. But I'm not envious of him. I'm not like, that fucking douchebags. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, dude, I wish I could be like that.
That's
you know
fair.
what I mean?
I guess to me it's just all about context.
Sure.
They mean the same thing.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did English once.
One time.
Just once.
Only once.
That's enough.
Uno tiempo.
Yep. Perfect.
Because we were talking about English, so
I auditioned for this role. It was going to be...
This is back when you were doing your podcast.
Yeah. So it was, 2021?
Yeah.
And it was down in Pennsylvania. He's got this whole production company. Website looked a little janky.
Right.
To
like
say
1997 janky.
Yeah. Like a lot of clip art.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, if his numbers were legit, like because he posted his numbers of the donations that he got, if they were legit, he's getting donations.
Which is that I'm envious of that. That pisses me off. When you have a 1995 clip art website, and you're getting hundreds of thousands of dollars in donations, and I put like as much work as I do into my shit.
Like I said,
it gets me
if it's legit, I don't know.
Sure. You could be lying.
So I auditioned for it. got the role, like, he messaged me, like, the next day, which I was like, that's a little shady, I think. Especially if it's supposed to be, like, a feature film, like a big production. Like, I would want a second audition with someone, you know?
Yeah.
Because all I did was send him in a tape.
Right.
Like, don't you want to see if I can be directed? You know, don't you want to
Sure.
see if I can, you know, take instruction?
Yeah.
So that was like a little bit of a red flag. I wound up getting a contract for this role.
How long was the contract, John?
The contract, how long's the Bible?
Yeah.
It was about twice as long as that.
You showed me this contract and I was just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling.
So I sent you the contract. I was like, can you just take a look at this, and, you know, from your end and see, like,
my contract, my model release and everything, it's like 4 or 5 pages.
Because I know I have 2 kidneys, but I want to keep them both just in case.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to go down to Pennsylvania.
Well, and there was like non-disclosures and like all this crap that was like.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, you said it looked legit.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's like a lot of paperwork, but, you know, multicolored text. Like, it was like, I was like, oh,
went ahead with it, bold, and making sure you recognize some shit. But, yeah, so I wound up going ahead with it, and it was coming up. No table reads, no, like, Zoom calls with anybody.
Any communication at all?
There was emails.
Oh, okay.
Not a ton.
Right.
So the date was coming up. I'm like, are we going to fucking do this or what? Like, I haven't got any travel plans or anything like that.
Well, because it was shooting in out of state, like far.
Well, it was shooting in Pennsylvania.
But you live in New Hampshire.
Right.
I mean, like, it was
and it was like Western Pennsylvania. You know what I mean? It was.
Yeah, it was out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I never got anything. And then we get an email, oh, it's postponed because another project that we're doing has run over or whatever. Okay. Makes you feel a little bit better. You know, now maybe they'll do what they're supposed to do and I can reach out to your actors and, you know.
Yeah.
I don't even think I ever got a full script. You know?
Man, it just,
and it just
crazy.
kept getting pushed to the right, and then all of a sudden, no more communication.
Really?
Radio silence. So now I'm a little nervous. Like 20 years down the road, is he going to come to me with my contract in hand?
And be like, hey, you signed this thing.
Yeah, it's
You're committed.
Time to act in my...
How come you don't look like you're 30 anymore?
It's kind of come to get chained up in my barn or something, you know?
Right.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
So that was it.
That was it.
It just died out.
Just died out.
Oh, my God.
Every once in a while, he'll send out a... just like a generic email to everybody on his mailing list about what's going on in his production company.
That has nothing to do with your production?
Nothing to do with my production.
Wow.
Nor to be seen.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So what are your plans for, I mean, obviously you're like chilling for a little bit right now and you have the dog and we're recovering from surgery and everything else, but do you want to act? Are you still acting? You want to do more stuff? If I call you and say I have a role for you, are you going to say yes or no? Yeah,
absolutely. If I have the time,
I'm talking about for me, you're going to make time.
I'll fucking make some time.
That's what I'm saying.
Olivia, you got to wait.
Right. Fucking kids. You know what I mean?
I've known you forever.
Right.
It's Nick's turn.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd definitely be open to it. I'm getting a part-time job ski patrolling this year, so winter's going to be tight.
Dude, everyone I know is taking on second, third jobs.
But this is something that I want to do.
Oh, it's like, okay. So
I get to ski for free. I get to do this medical class.
This is not a
it can go right into an EMS or EMT class.
Cool.
So it's pointing me in the direction that I want to go once Olivia graduates high school.
Yeah.
So that's the main reason why I'm doing it. Second is, free lift tickets doesn't hurt.
Sure. You're getting paid to ski.
Yeah. So then I might go back to school after that for cybersecurity.
Nice.
So I can get out of where I'm at.
Cybersecurity meaning what?
Securing the cyber world.
Okay. You're going to get teleported into a Tron kind of universe?
Yeah, I'll have a lightsaber.
Right.
And
I was thinking more like a ray gun of sorts.
A ray gun would be nice.
Yeah.
Probably better with that.
Right. Than a lightsaber.
I don't...
I'd be cool if you had a lightsaber.
I haven't been in a lot of sword fights,
No, I'd be down to yeah, that'd be great.
But yeah, so I'll probably go back to school for that. I have a meeting about that actually tomorrow, so I couldn't tell you what it's going to entail.
Right.
But yeah, other than that, after that, it's just going to be working. You know? And then Olivia's at the age where she's not going to want to hang out with me soon anyways.
Right.
So I'm going to have some time.
Yeah. No, dude, you've been as far as I know, you know, I don't know anything about any beatings or anything that you've given Olivia, but you've been a really cool dad so far. Like
tried.
And every time she's been on set, you know, I've tried to make sure that like you have the time, because there's a lot of downtime, as you know. Yeah. But obviously, Olivia's been there on a few days on set, and I'm not going to be one that's like, "Hey, focus up," like you know what I mean, like with your kid, dude.
Well,
like,
you got her looking at the camera and stuff like that, you know. Yeah. Checking out the shots and stuff, and
she's cool.
Yeah, and she's that's something that really interests her. So I think she'd love being on set.
She's a very analytical kid. Like she likes to know what's going on, and she'll like. She's not. She's a little soft-spoken in the beginning, but it's because she's analyzing the situation, and then she can open right up. Like she's fine.
Yeah, I think she's she's like me a little bit, where she kind of feels out the situation before she jumps in. But then when she's acting like herself, it's like, can you shut the fuck up for a second?
Stop it.
No, I'm just kidding.
Stop it.
Never say that.
Dude.
She's the best.
She's awesome. She's really cool. At least she was cool when she was young. Now you're gonna have like terrible teens. You know, who knows?
I hope not. But
you're not the boss of me. She's awesome. She'll kick your ass, dude. She'll kick your ass.
Nah, I would never lay a hand on her.
No, I know.
But yeah, no, I just try to have a balance. You know, her mother's a little on the stricter side.
Is it weird, like, watching her grow up? I don't know how to put that in like a non-weird way, but you know what I mean? Like
it is at times.
Like she was literally this big at one point.
It is at times because there's times I look at her and I'm like, oh, there's my 4-year-old little girl, like that. That's my toddler Olivia. Right, that skinned her knee and you had to pick her up and you know what I mean, that kind of stuff. And then there's times I look at her and it's like, this is a fucking woman.
Right.
I'm looking at a woman
especially
right
now because she's what, like 14, 15?
She's 14 years old.
Yeah, dude, she's got to be looking like almost an adult.
Yeah, and
huge difference from a 10-year-old, you know?
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
It's a lot of changes going on. You can Google what the changes are. I'm not going to go into them. But there's a lot of changes that happen in between those ages.
I was trying to keep it like nice. Yeah. I was being real.
But everyone goes through it, so it's okay. But,
well, yeah, absolutely. You're like, except me. I had a beard at 4 years old.
That's right. I came out looking like this. It's like Ace Ventura coming out of the rhino's ass.
Yeah. I don't know what that says about your mom, but okay.
Build up, because I know a kid is going to trust their parent with their life.
Of course.
But a kid's not always going to trust their parents with what happened at school that day.
Yeah.
You know? And she does, a mother and daughter relationship is better for that, so she does talk to her mother more about that kind of stuff. But she always knows that I'm there. Right. And I got to kind of pry information out of her. But I always want her to know that I'm prying this information out because I want to know about your life and I want to know how things are going.
Yeah, you're not like looking for things to send her to a room for.
Exactly.
You know, you're not looking to ground her. You're looking to like help if you can.
Yeah.
You know, that's cool. It's cool. So she's 14. Wow. So you were young. Yeah. And do you think it's helpful that you're a younger dad when she's as young? You know what I mean? Like, not like on a brotherly kind. I don't know how to explain it. Like you're not 100. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you still like listen to music that she probably listens to. Yeah, well, maybe not. But
no,
you know what I'm saying.
We do. I think it does help. You know, you kind of have that relationship where they feel like they're able to come to you because you might understand a little bit more.
Right.
Rather than like say I'm going to my 85-year-old grandfather and like, oh, this guy on Twitter made fun of me. Like he'd be like, what are you?
What's Twitter?
What the fuck? What is a bird out here?
Right.
Sorry, X. My bad.
Yeah. Because that sounds G-rated. That's fucking dumb, dude. I know. He's an idiot.
Well, yeah, I'd like to think that she feels like she can come to us more because we are at an age where we're more relatable.
Right.
Would I change anything about having her? Absolutely not.
No, of course not. But I'm asking,
best thing that's ever happened to me. Gave me a purpose in life.
If you had a kid today, though, like let's say you had a kid, like your baby was born today.
I'd be such a grouchy dad.
But that's the thing is, by the time 14 years from now, you'd be 48.
Yeah.
Like that's just there's so much, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying like there's such a
lot of people do it. Yeah, that's kind of
right.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm asking. Like, how old was your dad when you were born? Do you know offhand? My dad was 30. That's why. Or 32?
35.
35.
Yeah,
So,
I think so, if my math's correct, which it might not be. But
so by the time you were 14, he was almost 50.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like.
But he was still popping out kids at that time.
I'm sure.
Crazy son of a bitch.
But you know what I'm saying though. So like, was there any? Well, maybe not that. It might be different again because it's a father-son relationship as opposed to mother-daughter.
Yeah,
or mother or father-daughter. You know what I mean? Like that relationship.
Yeah, and I guess I think it's different for everybody. There's no cookie cutter way to talk about it.
Of course.
But like I always had a great relationship with my dad. Used to have a good one with my mom. Not so much anymore.
Right.
That doesn't matter. But yeah, I guess it's just. How you raise them to, like I said, you want to make sure they know that they can fucking trust you.
Right.
That's the biggest thing.
Right. Yeah, they shouldn't fear. I don't know. Like, there are certain things that, like, I don't want to have conversations about with my parents. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But at the same time, if I get arrested, which I never have, but if I get arrested, I know exactly who to call. Yep. I know which one's going to answer. I know which one's going to say, leave him there. You know?
Yep.
Because there is one. And I know like how that's gonna play out, and I think that they also kind of raised me to be. I don't know if you would feel this way about me, but I'm pretty independent.
Never noticed.
Right, and I like to get my stuff done on my own if need be, and if nobody's there to help, I'll just keep doing it until it's right. You know what I mean? And if there are people there to help, great, but we're still gonna do it the way I do it. But like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, but it's because of them. It's like you have to have that critical thinking that like you gotta tinker with the situation. If something falls apart, oh dude, when I was a little kid, something would fall apart and I would just go to pieces. Like I would just be like, everything's fucked. You know what I mean? And my dad would be like,
what am I going to do with my life now?
Yeah. And my dad would be like, it's good. You just got to just do this.
And that's the thing. Like you come in very even-keeled, no matter what the situation is.
Oh, no, well, he didn't. He would be like, it's not fucked, you idiot. Pick it up, like.
Well,
which is why I am the way that I am.
That in your...
No, but I'm saying, like, they give me the skills. I get it. You're right. But they gave me the skills to be like, even though everything looks like it's going to shit.
Yep.
Just look at it from over here, and it's actually not going to. You ever seen those things where you're like looking at something like a piece of artwork and it's made of like hanging things? This is so bad to describe on a podcast.
Go on to another side, and it's a different fucking thing.
Yeah, exactly. Or like the way that those like holographic stickers work or whatever.
Those are nice.
Yeah, the super 90s kind of deal, but they are nice. Like it's like it's just the way you look at things. The perspective shift can kind of. Change it, which is also why I like working with new people on sets and everything, because they always offer a new perspective.
That's true.
Yeah.
But that's what I was saying about like me trying to be more even-keeled is like I don't. If she like say she borrows my truck and crashes it when she's a teenager,
sure.
I don't want her first thought to be Dad's gonna kill me. I want her first thought to be let me call Dad because he's gonna make sure I'm okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, like I could call my mom and be like, hey, I crashed and I'm hurt and I need help or something. I mean, I'd call 911, obviously. But like I'm thinking more if I got arrested.
The ambulance comes by, you need help? No, I called my mom. It's okay.
I called my mommy. Everything's fine.
Mommy dearest is on her way. Don't worry.
But my dad told me, he was like, listen, don't get caught doing something stupid because you're going to get arrested and I'm going to tell him, leave him there. Trust me. He used to say, jail's going to be a lot better for you than whatever the hell you have waiting for you at home if I was doing something stupid. And the thing is, my parents didn't drink. I grew up in a dry household. Yep. Neither my dad.
That's why he was so angry.
My dad, maybe. My dad quit smoking when he found out that my mom was pregnant with me. I'm the firstborn. So like there was no.
Maybe that's why he was angry at you.
But there was no.
He hasn't drank, and you made him quit smoking.
Right, but there's nothing. Well, he smokes cigars now occasionally. But there's no. There was. Like, I didn't grow up around anything that was necessarily a bad influence.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I still got into a little bit of trouble here and there. But mostly with my mouth of talking back to teachers and being a dick.
And that's what you do.
Yeah.
But if it's a habitual thing, if my daughter's getting arrested every weekend.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, you can fucking leave her in there till Monday.
Right. Maybe this time
if I'm getting the sixth call within the past 6 weeks.
Right.
Why don't you let her think about it for a little while?
I know, it's funny. That's funny stuff. Yeah, no, 100%. But my dad would say those things, and then he would You know, he would say so. It's like it's just for the same person. If you watch the podcast with me and my father, it'd be like just watching two of me. Like seriously, like,
why does he keep jumping back and forth between the couch and the table?
Yeah. We'd be literally like, he would say something to me like, "Well, I'll leave you in there" or whatever, and then he'd wait and he'd be like looking at his email and he'd look up like 5 seconds later and be like, "But you know, seriously, like don't do anything stupid." Or, like, you know what I mean? Like,
I still care about you.
Right. That's exactly how he is. That's exactly.
I'm gonna feel bad about it, but I'm gonna leave you in there.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he actually would. But I also didn't want to test the theory. That's why I never got arrested. You know.
Yeah. No, I have a great relationship with my father, and the first thing he told me when I turned 18, the day I turned 18, he's like, "Great, now I can legally kick you out." And
Yeah.
he said it sarcastically, but in the back of your head, it's like, maybe he can.
Well, so like my mom said, because I used to say when I was 16, I was super temperamental and a pain in the ass and everything. I used to get, you know, you fight with your parents, like, and I mean fight like yelling,
Arguments,
like arguments with your parents. I remember this one time, I said to my mom, I was like, "Oh, I can't wait to move out of this house." I don't even remember but it was, you know, and her catchphrase, whenever we get to a point like that, would be like, "Well, listen, once you're out, you're out. So I hope you like laundry, and I hope you like the food and all this other stuff. Because once you're out, you're out. You're on your own."
No turning back. Huh?
And it was definitely her way of being like,
empty threat.
"Yep, yeah, but it's like, please don't leave." You know, because like once you're out. You're out. You're on your own.
Yeah.
Don't come back to me. I'm not gonna like wipe your ass for the rest of your life just because you wanted to leave. But I'm gonna take care of all the bad stuff. Like the good, you have to take the good with the bad.
Yep.
Do you know how many times since I've moved out of my house over a decade ago, do you know how many times my mom has called me and been like, "Do you need me to do any laundry for you or anything?"
Probably a lot.
A lot, dude. A lot. Total empty threat. The problem is she was really good at like raising me, and I've never been like, "Yeah, Mom, please do my laundry."
Best time of her life, man. She probably misses you.
Yeah, she does. She does.
Yeah, she doesn't want to do your laundry. She just wants to see you. That's all.
Yeah, and now my sister is like out of that. She's in grad school. Like my mom is total empty nest syndrome, you know?
Yeah.
And she's like 60 or whatever. But
you know. Did she get pets? Did she buy dogs or anything like that?
She had a cat that we got when I was like 12. It just died last year. I think my mom's planning something like a move or something like that. I think she wants to go back to Southern California at some point. It's like she's gonna save up for like the next 5 years, and then ciao, she's gonna be out.
Yeah, my mother replaced us with 3 dogs.
Yeah.
So she had 3 kids. Now she has 3 dogs.
Right. Does she love the dogs, or is it similar to the children?
It's
I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
No, that's a fair question. She complains. She's a
complainer.
Do we
need to call
animal
control or animal safety?
She's a complainer. So nothing's ever going good. You don't ever ask how you doing, Mom, because you'll be on the phone for
3 hours.
3 hours just listening to gobbledygook about whoever did whatever. I don't know these people. Most of the time, she doesn't even know these people. It's just an interaction she had with a stranger out in public. Right. That wasn't even a big deal.
Right, right.
Like I was going to the aisle with my cart, and he cut in front of me, 3 feet ahead of me. Do you believe that?
I have a story about that after, but go ahead.
Okay, Mom.
Yeah.
So you ran into someone in public.
Yeah.
I don't write it in your fucking Christmas card. I don't need to hear about it.
Out of context. That's aggressive, but okay. Go ahead.
But yeah, so she replaced us with the dogs. I think she had 4, but she bit off a little more than she could chew, so she had to...
Of the dog?
She bit the dog.
Yep.
Too much.
Improv. You go with it.
Too much.
It's good.
It was too much fur. She was starting to choke, so she had to spit it back out.
Right.
But she sent it back to the adoption, like where she got it from. I was like, could you imagine doing that to a fucking human being?
I don't know if I put it past her. If that's the mindset.
You just took this dog, the best day of its life. I have a family.
The door's open.
I have other dogs that are my friends now. Like I have people to play with. I'm not in a fucking cage my whole life.
This one's too much. We're taking it back. This one might be too much. We're taking it back. And then all of a sudden it's like...
Exactly.
Poor me.
Exactly. So I have no sympathy.
I know. I know.
I'm a little cynical anyway, so
I guess so, just a little bit.
Yeah, or jaded, I guess you could say.
One time I was in a grocery store and I was buying a sandwich. I was like 10 years old. Seriously, I was buying a sandwich for lunch, and I didn't even see this lady. She was like 500 pounds with the shopping cart, And I just saw a line, and I walked up to the line, and she pushed the stroller, and the part where people put their waters underneath.
Yeah.
There's that little like grate thing, right? Yeah. It like caught me on the heel and like cut my heel open or whatever, right? And she was like, "Look where you're going. You cut in front of me." And that bitch went right around me and like got in line. I was like, I just have a sandwich. I was like on the ground in the grocery store, like, ow. Like, what? Like, and even a Band-Aid or something.
Yeah,
Nobody did shit.
Anyone see this shit?
Nobody did shit. It was a full-ass grocery store.
It's
Nobody
one of those
did
things,
anything.
it's not my fucking problem.
Yeah. They were like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you must have did something really fucked
Lady
up.
in a blue hair and a muumuu, like just, waddling around, pushing carts into children. Like, get out of my way.
I was going to say
I don't want to be
something,
like
but
that
never
when
mind.
I'm old. No,
Never
say
mind.
it. Say it.
I was just going to say, don't get in fucking middle of me and my food.
Yeah. Oh, she was big.
Yeah.
She was a big lady. There was a lot of torque in those wheels.
A lot of torque.
Yeah. There was a lot of force in those wheels. Seriously, man. It was great. So yeah, so you're going to be skiing this summer.
Yeah.
Any other big plans or anything for the future?
Well, in the winter, not the summertime.
Skiing this winter, right?
Yeah, no, other than that, like I said, I want to go back to school, and then
You've replaced Olivia with Hampton.
yeah, no, that's going great.
I'm happy
It's
for
like
you,
Olivia
man.
never left.
You were how long were you on the list for Hampton?
Over a year.
Yeah, that's crazy. I really am happy for you.
Thank
That's sick.
Yeah,
And,
she's a good pup.
Yeah.
Good pup.
Helpful? Worth it? Do you think it's worth it? Would you recommend
I
trying
would-
to get on a list for if
I
you're a
would
vet?
recommend it 100%. If you feel like you need it, yes, 100%. Do your research. Make sure you're finding an organization that suits you best and for what you're looking for. But yeah, if you think you need it, for sure.
Yeah.
But just be aware that you are going to get some unsolicited attention while you're out in public.
That, and also, yes, I agree. I would also probably mention that, like, it's a living thing. You're not buying a robot to help you with your
Make
anxiety.
sure you can take care of it.
Right.
Yeah. If you're at a point in your life where you can't, like, you physically can't get out of bed because of like, your mental stuff going on, and you can't take care of yourself,
Don't pat a dog.
Get that in line before you get the dog.
Right.
Yeah. Because as much as you look to them, they look to you.
Yeah, it's a partnership. It's a whole new thing, like a whole new partnership.
We're a team.
But seriously,
it says it right on our vest. Veteran team.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's really cool. Is there I don't know, I'll put a link in there anywhere. Is there like a website for this type of thing, or just people get it through the VA or what?
I think it's canine.org. I'll double check that, but I can give you a little pamphlet.
Yeah, cool. I'll put it in the description. Yeah. This won't come out for a couple of weeks, but
yeah, and the amount of people that have come up to me and like asked me questions about the dog, or what the process is, what they can do. And it's like, oh, why are you asking? Oh, because I've been thinking about it. I just don't know where to start.
Yeah.
And I hand out pamphlets.
Not to like totally change the subject at all, but kind of related to this. Isn't it similar to like acting? Like, did you not know where to start when you were like, you're on the wrong side of like everything in life, part of it can be as simple, I'm sure, as like a little Google search, what I mean? But at the same time, if you're in a weird spot or if you want to try something or do something, like, dude, I have not anxiety necessarily, but I guess it's an insecurity when it comes to like hitting people up to be on the podcast, like I would have always, you could have been episode 1, but like you had to comment on that one video, like, all right, I'll come on. And I was like, fuck, I should hit up John. Like, I'd love to have John on. You know what I mean? Like the thought of going into like the people that I follow on Instagram or the other people around and being like, Ryan gave me shit for it. Ryan Collins was on with Billy.
Yeah.
And Ryan was like, yeah, I mean, I had to ask you to be on your podcast. Like, what the fuck? I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry.
It's like inviting yourself over to your friend's house for dinner.
But the mental part is that if I don't, like, if he didn't text me, I would think in my head, this is the mental
he doesn't
part,
want to do it.
That he doesn't want to be anywhere near me. He knows I'm doing a podcast, but he didn't hit me up, so he's the asshole.
When in reality, he's thinking like he doesn't want me on.
Right.
Yeah,
and what is he supposed to do? Drive up 3 hours to like come sit on my podcast? He's just going to show up at the door and be like,
I'm ready to do the podcast.
Yeah, like that's crazy on my part. So I don't know. I feel like no matter, like, it's cool. That must be a cool feeling when is it vets that come up to you or just people in general that ask for
most of the time the vets. There's people who come up for, like, I have a family member who has a disability.
Sure.
You know, we've been thinking about getting them a service dog. Perfect. This organization can help you out if you want.
Okay, so it's not
There
just for vets.
When I was in Nashville a few weeks ago, I was on the elevator. I had gone down to let her outside, and there was a family of 3, and the little boy, I don't know if he was autistic or what, but he looks at me, and he goes, "Excuse me." I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "God loves you."
Oh.
And I was like, Jesus.
I know. Like, listen, kid.
I was like,
I don't need this right now.
Can you see a black spot on my soul? Like, does he know this is what I needed? I went back to the room.
Dead people.
Yeah, I went back to the room. I just prayed a couple times. But and I was like, "Oh, well, thank you very much." And
that's super sweet.
And his mother started talking to me, and he's like, "Yeah, he's got a disability, and I think he's got medical issues, maybe with his heart or whatever. I don't want to give too much detail because I don't remember too much."
Right.
But I was like, yeah, like, gave her a pamphlet. Check out this organization. You know, those people are always so grateful, and the organization's grateful too because
God loves you. That's rough,
I know,
man.
I was like,
that's deep as fuck. How old was the kid?
So I hissed at him.
Yeah.
Don't say that. He was maybe like 10 or 12.
Oh my God, what a good kid.
Yeah. But they really are so grateful because they don't know where to turn. Like, you can Google service animals,
right,
and you'll get a
7 billion results, right?
And are they all good? No, probably not. There's some organizations that, you know, they don't really vet out their dogs as much as they should.
Right.
So these dogs come in just instinctually with bad habits, and they don't have the resources like a Canine Companions does to go get more dogs. You know, they breed their own dogs, and they raise them for a year and a half, and then they train them for the next 6 months. So it's a whole process for them.
Right.
But
and it's
some
not
of these
just
organizations,
a factory of like...
Right. And some of these, and they have volunteer puppy raisers, so it's very personal. So they're like growing up in a home. It's not like growing up in a kennel. But other organizations, they might not have the resources to do stuff like that. So they just have to use the dogs that they can. So just do your research. And yeah, if you want to put the website in the description, the organization loves it because the more dogs that they give to a person in need, that's more money coming in for them too, because it's kind of like a give and take, right? If they're not training dogs to a standard and these dogs aren't going to homes, why am I going to donate to your organization?
Right,
you know?
right.
So the more they succeed, the more they succeed.
Right.
Damn.
It's all about them.
Put that on a poster.
Yeah. That's cool though, man. That's cool. Listen, I mean, you were on the wait list forever. I remember when you applied, I was in the different studio.
Oh yeah.
Like, this is like a long time coming. So it's been cool. And it's cool to see that, like, you guys are getting along. I mean, I obviously you would, but like, it's cool to...
First day, man. First couple days, there was 4 of us in the class. They had 5 dogs. So the first couple days, they rotate all the dogs through everybody.
Okay.
So they want to see, who works best with who. And first time I handled her, I was like, come on, it's got to be her.
Really?
It's got to be her.
Like a weird, like knowledgeable, like connection?
Yeah.
That's a weird way. Subconscious, I guess.
Connection. Yeah. And so then they ask you, like, before they pair you with the dog, they give you a questionnaire. And then any comments at the end, I was like, well, I prefer a female. I didn't know how Scott was going to do with a male. I didn't want like a territory battle.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
So there was only one other female in there, and she was already predestined to go with another person.
Yeah.
So by luck, I got Hampton. And I was talking to the lady, and she's like, we were probably going to give you her anyways. And then when you said you'd prefer a female, they were like, this is her. And then as soon as they release her, to you for the first time, where you get to like, this is your dog that you're going to handle now.
You mean like command release, or like
no? Just like they.
Okay.
It's kind of like a semi-ceremony where they announce what dog.
Like a marriage, kind of.
Kind of where like they announce, and there's people from the facility there, and they're taking pictures and stuff like that because it all goes on the social media or whatever.
Of course.
And as soon as she comes to me, like, butt wagging, licks and stuff like that. Just
and you're like, okay, you're home.
Yeah,
you're good.
Like, yeah, we are gonna be just okay. And now she does that sometimes.
Yeah, unconditional love and support. That's cool. I'm happy for you, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Cool. Well, are you going to come back? You want to come on another show at some point?
Whenever.
Cool. Did you have fun today?
Yeah, it's a blast.
It's always a good time. Always good to see you. We got to hang out more, man. Seriously.
Yes, sir.
We're too close for all the film people that I bitch about that are South Shore and, Rockland and all these different crazy Western Mass and everything else. You're like relatively close to me and we should hang out more.
I agree.
Let's do sushi soon again. That would be really good.
I'm down.
It was like really good. All right, cool, man. Well, thanks. Where can people follow you if they want to follow you?
They can't.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I off social media.
Are you really?
Yeah, like I still have Instagram and TikTok. Those are more for entertainment purposes now. For
your
me.
own entertainment.
Yep.
Cool.
Everything's private now.
Good. Stay off of it.
Yeah.
Then. Are you kidding me? I can't because it's my
whole
business.
I deleted Facebook.
Wow. Yeah. Good for you.
Life's been good, man.
That's
Life's
good.
been good.
That's crazy. Do you feel good?
Yeah, no, it feels great.
Awesome.
Yeah, I missed a bunch of stuff like those invitations you get on Facebook events or whatever.
'em.
I missed a bunch of them.
You're not going to go
it's
anyway.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the best.
And then you don't feel bad for not going. If you don't see it, then it really happened.
Like the day before an event, my dad's like, "Hey, you going to this?" I was like, "I've never heard about it."
Right, probably not.
So nope.
Not going to happen. Good for you, man.
Yeah, it's the best.
That's cool. Well, listen, as long as you're happy, that's the main thing. And I fully intend on, forcing you to act in something soon.
Yeah, just let me know.
So be prepared for phone calls. But thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me, man. It's been a blast.
Appreciate it.